On a Tuesday night, when downtown Chicago looked like a giant aquarium, glass towers glowing, tiny people moving below, Claire finally learned the real cost of the word family. It wasn't written in a will, or framed in an old photo. It was buried in a spreadsheet, 37 tabs, each with a short name and a long number. She clicked on cell G42, just out of habit, and the cursor blinked back like it was asking a question. Across the apartment, the kettle whistled, the tea boiled, and so did her courage. Claire was 35, with the look of someone who measures space in memories and silence, and a habit of classifying everything. Since childhood, she'd learned that control was a religion, with 2 commandments: organize and pay. Her father was absent by conviction, her mother present out of guilt, and her sister Megan had a special talent for turning urgency into routine. Can you transfer it now? I'll pay you back tomorrow. Tomorrow became next week became next month became another quiet excuse that never materialized. At work, Claire was a different creature. A controller for a mid-sized real estate firm, the brain behind the numbers that saved margins, plugged leaks, and disguised creative accounting. The CEO called her the Shield. Her co-workers called her the Ice Queen. Only Claire knew the truth. She was exhausted. That Tuesday, while reviewing a cash flow sheet, an email popped up. Reminder, credit card payment due, $1, 742.83. The last 4 digits belonged to her mother's card, but the bill was always hers. A month of therapy cost less than her mum's debt. Claire gave a dry smile, humorless. But the story didn't begin there. It began a year earlier, on a rainy Sunday, when Megan knocked on her door with wide eyes and a rehearsed tone. Claire, I'm in a tough spot. And then the usual confession: overdue rent, student loans, a course that promised a job in 6 months, just until I get back on my feet. Claire opened her wallet, then her banking app, then her boundaries. And, as always, once turned into routine. She even created a spreadsheet labeled Family Support, with dates, amounts, and little notes. And like any system left unchecked, it began to run itself. Her mother slid in through WhatsApp with passive-aggressive charm. Honey, I hate asking but, followed by lists, medication, property taxes, a little house repair. Her father, missing for decades, reappeared with projects and opportunities that needed a bridge partner. Claire said no to almost everything from him. And yes, to almost everything from them. It made her feel good, the kind of goodness that quietly bleeds you out. Until her mother's birthday came around, Megan planned a party at Uncle Ray's ranch up in Wisconsin. Just the whole family, she said. Claire paid for the catering, the music, the transparent tent, the generators, even the dress her mother needed for the occasion. The morning of the party, a message appeared in the group chat. The driver's already on his way. Driver, Claire typed. What driver? Silence. Then an audio clip filled with laughter. Oh Claire, you work too much. If you want, drop by later. It's really just for family. Just for family. Claire whispered it under her breath, tasting the poison. She set her phone face down on the counter and stared at the kettle. It screamed. She didn't move. The next days unfolded like invoices. The catering bill, she paid. The Instagram post, all smiles under that transparent tent. She liked. The dress. She split into installments. And then came Tuesday, the aquarium night. That was when she opened her spreadsheet and, for the first time, cross-checked the tabs. Transfers, receipts, dates matching her family's emergencies. And there, hidden between rows, she found something that made her freeze. Coincidences that weren't coincidences at all. Withdrawals near her office, payments from her mother's card to a company named M2 Consulting, opened 6 months earlier. Managing partner, Megan Andrews. Business activity, personal and family advisory services. In plain English, the drain. Claire sat there, didn't cry, didn't shake. Just looked out at the city and realized that manipulation also keeps books. It enters through guilt, exits through habit. She closed the file, opened a new one. The invisible ledger. For the next few weeks, she became a cold kind of detective. She gathered her mother's bank statements, lined them up with her own transfers, pulled invoices from M2 Consulting. All of them issued to Mum or Claire Andrews. A few even described the service as emotional and family logistics consulting. She laughed. I'm paying for my own manipulation with itemized receipts. At work, things escalated. The CFO was caught in a minor audit scandal, and the CEO asked Claire to step in temporarily. Budgets, investors, control. It was like finally sitting in the cockpit and realizing how many switches were fake. So she did what she did best: system adjustments. First, she locked down her money. Separate accounts, new passwords, spending caps, and a little notification that popped up before each transfer. Are you paying out of love or guilt? It was a joke, but it worked. Second, she hired a forensic accountant, Janet. Calm eyes, sharp mind, the kind of woman who forgave people, but not numbers. Within a month, Janet came back with a report. M2 Consulting had withdrawn over $35,000 in 2 years, almost all from Claire's funds. Some of that money went straight to her father. The drain had branches. Third, Claire rented a small meeting room near Michigan Avenue. White walls, round table. That's where she scheduled the family meeting. Not to wash laundry, to present results. That Saturday they came. Her mother, perfume too sweet, purse too large. Her father, already rehearsing, I always supported you, and Megan, in a white blazer, pretending to be professional. What's this about? Her mother asked, all nerves and drama. Claire powered up the projector. Title slide, The Invisible Ledger, Revenue, Expenses and Manipulations. Underneath, Janet's signature and license number, just for emphasis. Didn't bring cake, Mum, Claire said. Brought data, Megan smirked. You're being dramatic again, Claire. And you're being creative with your words. Claire didn't raise her voice. Emotional and family logistics consulting, that's poetry. Maybe I should invoice you for inspiration. Her father tried to mediate, polished cowardice disguised as peace. Honey, no one's against you. Really? Claire flipped slides. Here. $2.600 transferred to Educational Fund for Megan. Straight into your company account. Here. $1.742 on Mum's card. Same day, same vendor. Here. 8 cash withdrawals 2 blocks from my office, all within an hour of your emergency texts. Want me to keep going? Megan adjusted her blazer. It was for Mum. I handled her stuff. I charged for my time. That's fair. So's mine, Claire said evenly. And I charge in boundaries. Her mother sighed, pulling the oldest trick in the book. I've told you I hate asking. But you did. Repeatedly. Claire clicked again. Screenshots of texts filling the wall. Just this once. Only this month. Held me out. And when I stopped saying yes, you did it without me. Remember that phrase, Mum? Just for family. Silence sat down at the table with them. Her father cleared his throat. How much do you want, Claire? She exhaled. Steady, decided. Nothing. She placed an envelope on the table. Copies of the report, and a formal cease and desist letter signed by Janet's lawyer. I just want it to stop. Return what can be returned. And don't ever use my guilt as your credit line again. From today on, no transfers, no cards, no excuses. Keep pushing, and we'll talk to a judge. You'd take your own family to court? Her mother gasped. No, Claire said softly. I'm taking my life back from you. Court is just logistics. Megan stood up, her voice sharp. Who do you think you are now? Some kind of power woman? No, Claire said, packing her folders. Just the owner of my passwords. And when people stop bleeding, they call it coldness. I call it peace. They left one by one, taking the stale air with them. When the door clicked shut, Claire turned off the projector and heard, for the first time in years, the quiet rhythm of her own heartbeat, free from the feedback of guilt. The next days brought the predictable backlash. Long texts from her mother, short ones from Megan, silence from her father. Cousins popped up with sugary advice. Family's family, no matter the money. Claire replied with the calm of the newly liberated. Exactly. Money doesn't define family. Respect does. At work, her temporary role became official. The CEO offered her the CFO seat. She accepted with conditions. Real compliance, anonymous hotline, clear policy on gifts and favors, and a committee to oversee family-style conflicts. Because companies, like families, rot from the same bacteria. Just this once. Her first test came fast. A senior director, 30 years in, ran fake subcontractors to skim budgets and optimize taxes. The group chat name for the scheme? Coffee and Cream. Claire almost laughed. Sweet names for sour tricks. Classic. She called a short meeting. In front of the CEO and legal team, she projected the numbers, the transfers, the fake invoices. The man pleaded history. I've always been loyal. History isn't a free pass, Claire said. Loyalty without transparency is a chain. He was dismissed. The stock wobbled for 2 days, then stabilized. Investors returned. At the next meeting, they asked Claire to present. She stood there, precise, calm, and ended with one line. We don't sell buildings. We sell trust. If we ever have to choose between margin and ethics, this company chooses ethics, because that's the only margin that lasts. She left the room without waiting for applause, like someone who finally understood that power isn't volume, it's consistency. At home, life slowed down. Claire bought a smaller dining table, made dinner a ritual again. She discovered she liked cilantro, and hated dishes left to dry. On Saturday mornings, she went to the farmer's market, splurging on mangoes and local cheese, luxuries for someone who'd learned that joy doesn't come with an invoice. Megan disappeared for a while, then, months later, sent a short voice message. I'm trying, Claire, got a steady job, sent 2 payments back, check your email. Claire opened it, small amount but voluntary. She replied, thank you, no need for tears, let's keep the peace. Her mother took longer. She showed up one sunny Sunday with a carrot cake, the family's old peace offering. They sat at the little table. The mother complimented the plants, the light, avoided the topic until she couldn't anymore. I always wanted the best for you, she said, honest and dishonest all at once. I know, Claire said, pouring coffee, but wanting the best without learning limits becomes wanting the best for yourself at someone else's expense. That's over now. They cried a bit. No movie scene hug, just agreements. Each left with a slice of cake and a share of accountability. For the first time, family didn't feel like a debt. The next week, Claire presented a new internal memo to her team. Title, The Boundary Manual. 3 pages, 10 lines. No graphics. It read, among other things, anything too urgent might be manipulation in disguise. Help without reciprocity becomes system. System becomes abuse. Transparency isn't distrust, it's hygiene. You don't argue with spreadsheets, you verify them. Guilt is not a payment method. She signed it, printed it, pinned it next to the performance chart. A new analyst, fresh out of college, asked shyly, does that apply at home too? It starts there, Claire said with a faint smile. That Friday, before leaving the office, she opened the invisible ledger. Fewer tabs now. The last one was titled Assets. It didn't list cash, property, or stocks. It listed non-negotiables: sleep, laughter, dignity, time. Each marked consolidated. Claire closed her laptop and went for a walk. The city still looked like an aquarium, but for the first time, she didn't feel like the fish inside. She felt like the hand on the light switch. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number, polite voice offering a once-in-a-lifetime family investment opportunity. She smiled. Thanks, she said. Not today. Around here the books finally balance, and she hung up, calm, sovereign, knowing that power isn't about winning every battle. It's about refusing the ones that don't belong to you.